Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the special Thanksgiving Roundtable episode of the NFL Matchup Madness. So tonight, as you see, I'm joined by four of my contributors who are normally on the show. We're just going to be running through the schedule, giving you our thoughts on all the games, and then we're going to get out of here and let you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving week. And we're going to give you a little bit of that intelligence that we have to allow you to think about what you're doing. If you're a guy that likes to bet, you're somebody who likes to talk trash, you're somebody who likes to have a little bit of information, this is the place always to come and get that. So I'll just let everyone introduce themselves if you guys would like real quick, and then we'll hop into the games. We'll start with Doug and we'll just go around.
Oh my goodness, if we're going to start with me, we might as well get this thing lit up right now because of course, when I come in, it's just no question the crowd goes wild. What's up? This is Big Time from the Big Time Show. Glad to hang with you, Cool and Joe and Alex and Chris. Let's get it popping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that me next? Because I can't really see. I see all y'all is next.
Yeah.
Whoever wants can go next.
Okay, well, in that case, sure. I'll go ahead.
Hey, it's great to be with you guys. I mean, Doug, Chris, Joe, and Cool. I mean, it's going to be a great addition of this table. I mean, a lot of great matchups. No bye weeks this week. A lot of healthy players. But again, a lot of injuries that happened this week. And I can't wait to discuss with y'all.
This is Joe down in D.C. Glad to be on with Alex, Doug, Chris, and Cool over here. Yeah, there you go.
Say the best for last. It's Chris. I'm actually out in Vegas, but I'm representing the Falcons on the show. It's going to be a great week, guys. I'm excited.
Dope. So, gentlemen, without further ado, man, let's go ahead and hop into it. So we'll start with the Thursday night games. Our first game is going to be the Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions. We'll start with Mr. Save the Best for Last, Chris, for this one, and then everybody just chime in when he's done. So, Chris, what you got?
I'm going to have to take the Bills on this one. I mean, Detroit, I don't think they have anything that can stack up to that firepower of Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. It's going to be a blowout. I might just not even watch this game.
Whoa, that's a crazy take because you look at it. Detroit's on a 3-game winning streak against some pretty decent teams that have been good in the past. That defense is looking really solid now. They got that rookie safety who, let's remind us, picked off Aaron Rodgers twice. That's twice. Aiden Hutchinson in 3 games has 2 interceptions as well. That defense is starting to heat up. Jamal Williams is starting to heat up. I mean, I think Detroit may keep this close, but I also want to go with my gut. Josh Allen has not been playing good with that UCL sprain. Stephon Diggs, I mean, it's going to be his first game back in Detroit since tearing his ACL. So, I mean, either way, I think it's going to be a great game. I think Lions are going to squeak this out by an 8-point win.
Interesting
you say that. I kind of think I'm going with the Bills in the close one. Like, if the spread is there and it's like some outrageous amount, I like the Lions to cover. I do agree with Alex in the sense that Josh has not exactly played well down the stretch in crucial moments of games, and all for this to get close, they just have to have the key of the forced turnovers, and they've been doing that. I don't think their defense is going to hold up in the passing game because they shut down Saquon, which is a primarily run-based Giants team. The Bills are a whole different breed. But I do not think, like if I was betting on the props, where I would take overs on Josh Allen's yards, but I think it's going to be a little bit harder than what it appears to be, because you expect them, because the Lions have one of the worst off defenses, to just like a Pittsburgh Buffalo type situation. I don't see that.
I'm going to go with the Bills in a very, very, very close game. Only reason why I'm saying that is because this Detroit Lion team is not the Detroit Lion team from earlier. They are playing extremely well. They always have played hard. And they've been in a lot of close games that just couldn't close out at the end. They very well could be, a 6-7 win ball, 6-7 win ball club if they would just learn how to close. They have learned how to close these last few weeks. Their defense is not as bad as everybody's thinking they are. I really believe, and also let's throw in the fact that the Lions always play pretty decently on Thanksgiving. It's just something about Thanksgiving, that they step it up a notch. That is their Super Bowl where the whole world is watching. So, and they playing pretty good right now. But I believe that Buffalo, I believe that their defense knows it's about that time for them to crank it up now. And I believe that they're going to kind of stifle the Lions and what they do. So I got Buffalo in a very close game, but Detroit is going to play well. They are playing well.
So I'm going to go with Alex. I think Detroit's going to find some wonky way to win this game. I think if you look at the numbers, if you look at the stats, you'd obviously be foolish not to pick Buffalo. But sometimes, especially on Thanksgiving, Detroit's got a little extra magic, a little extra oomph. Like Mr. Big Time himself said, this is like their Super Bowl. So I think we're going to get a Detroit team that's going to come out spirited, and they're going to do something that a lot of people didn't expect, and that's to win the game.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah. I mean, hey, they have nothing to lose. Nobody expects them to do anything. You go out there free and just play football. Next up, we have the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. And, of course, we're going to allow Mr. Big Time to set this game off for us.
It's the game that the whole world gonna watch. Let's get that straight. It'll be the most watched game, obviously, for the day, as it always is. The Dallas Cowboys will bring the ratings home as usual. That's why they put us in the prime time slot, and we will deliver. Now, Alex, in no sense you bowing your head down, my friend. I think I told you what was gonna happen. I didn't think it was gonna happen like that. But coming off what we did to y'all, please understand that the rain will keep falling on the Giants on this Thursday. I have no question in my mind that these guys are on a roll. I'll look at it from the Giants' perspective. I will say this about the Viking game. Underneath that beatdown that we gave Kirk Cousins the whole game, what was disguised in all of that was we still couldn't stop the run. It was not the Cowboys who didn't stop the run. It was the scoreboard that took Dalvin Cook out of the game. That's the only reason why. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had almost a 6-point some odd average off a few carries. And so once again, we didn't stop the run at all, which leads, of course, to this Thursday, of course, when Saquon comes. I'm quite sure we are going to get a heavy dose of Saquon, and it's real simple. If we don't stop him, we're going to be in trouble. You throw in Daniel Jones and his ability to run as well. You would expect them to try to go that route. They don't want Daniel Jones throwing. They want him running the ball with Saquon. So we just got to put a hat on these guys. If we do that, I think it's going to be another beat down. Dak Prescott, most people are forgetting that he's coming off a thumb injury. He's been gone for a whole month. He's just now starting to get his rhythm completely back. And we all saw Sunday what that means. Can't deny it. It is what it is. The Cowboys are a legitimate butt-kicking team. It's just no doubt about it. And I'm expecting us to run through the Giants again. That's all I got to say. I wish somebody would try to dispute me about my Cowboys right now. Y'all know
no doubt.
Nothing. That's right.
No doubt. no doubt the Cowboys, they ran through the Vikings. I mean, like you said, took Dalvin Cook out of the game. But I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. I don't think the Giants are even prepared for this. I mean, they just got destroyed by the Lions. I mean, they took the running game out, forced them to pass. Where, I mean, they're paying Kenny Golladay all this money, but what has he done? I mean, at this point, when are you, as the GM of the Giants, gonna take this risk and just take the cap hit and cut him? I mean, or at least try to get a draft pick out of him. But at this point, this experiment has not worked, and this defense for the Cowboys, if they stop the run, I mean, it's gonna be another beatdown. They're probably gonna put up another 40 points here. I don't see the Giants winning this game at all.
See, I was gonna play devil's advocate and go against you big time, but
you can't. You just can't. You just can't.
What I saw from Dak on Sunday was a man on a mission. He had to listen to all this talk about the Eagles being the best team in the East for the last month or all season, and now he's on the field being able to prove that he is the best quarterback in the NFC East. And the best thing for a defense that can't stop the run is for an offense to put up points, and that's what Dallas is going to do. They're going to take Saquon out by outscoring the New York offense. That's all they have to do. And it's Thanksgiving. They show out just like the Lions do on Thanksgiving, and that's going to be a game it's going to be high scoring.
I'm not sure what happened with Mr. Jenkins, but I'll hop on in here, man. The Giants should lose this game. The Cowboys, after what they were able to do last week, it's clear that the way they're playing now, they should win this game. I will say it is a divisional game, and we've had a situation recently where we pretty much were confident that one team was going to win and they didn't. But it doesn't change anything. It just a footnote. Anything's possible, but the Giants should lose this game. The Cowboys should win this game the way that they're playing.
Okay. I will say if this game is close as the second half looms, that's typically when teams that are primarily run-based or offense typically can kind of
there's no
make
way
their
the Cowboys
way.
should lose this game. I mean, defense is too good right now. Parsons dominating like usual. So Saquon, they want a chance. They have to rely on Saquon to be going over 200.
That's what I'm saying. If this game is close by 10, if it's like halftime, it's good. Like within one score, they're actually tied. That gives the Giants a chance. But I don't think they're going to win. But I think I need Dallas not to get cute. I need Dallas not to, because typically what I've seen from Dallas, especially in these divisional games, is that when it's Thanksgiving and the lights are shining, everybody's watching, they kind of get out of their normal flow and try to show up and try to do big type situations. And I remember one time against an inferior Washington team, they lost. And so this time, if you stick to your formula, play your game, I think you'll have no worries with this team and the Giants. But, that's what you got to do. Don't get cute.
Fair enough. I mean, Big Time does not have to eviscerate anyone, since you guys made the right choice. By the way, Big Time, appreciate y'all last week, man. Much love. We needed that from y'all.
Don't worry, y'all. Y'all coming up.
Oh yeah, y'all. Yeah, we coming.
Y'all gonna get a piece of this pie too. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Be careful.
It's
just remember this phrase: be careful what you ask for, because you get it because you asked for it.
All right. So remember that. Also, you be careful. This is not Cooper Rush you're playing.
Oh, it doesn't matter if it's Rain Dakota or Cooper Rush. You're still going to be playing. You're still going to be playing Jalen Hurts in the offense. And by the time we play y'all, we should have our weapons back that are injured.
Okay. Don't worry about it. We'll set all this in a couple of weeks. Don't worry.
We sure will. We sure will. Patriots against the Vikings. We'll hop on that next. And Alex, man, we'll let you start this one, sir.
Well, as we discussed with the Cowboy games, I mean, Kirk Cousins did not perform. He struggles in those prime time slot games. It doesn't matter if it's a 4 o'clock, 8:20 game, or a Monday night or Thursday night. He struggles, and he continues to prove that. But again, like we said before, and those carries that Dalvin Cook had, it was 6.3 yards per average carry. I mean, if they can continue to use this against, a Patriots team that really hasn't been good, but has a tough defense. They really do. They shut down the number one offense in week 6, the Detroit Lions. They shut them down when they were the number one offense, 36-0. So, I mean, they're not nothing to mess with. But again, the quarterback situation there for the Patriots. Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones. Belichick is going to have a decision to make this upcoming year. Mac Jones has not looked great. Bailey Zappi steps in, gets a couple needed wins. The first game he comes in against a tough Green Bay opponent, shuts them down. That's back, gets 2 straight wins. But that's the thing, is they got to make a decision. Zadarius Smith coming off a bye week, coming back healthy, or not, I guess not really a bye week, but a couple days of practice here to get back healthy and after being limited for so long is going to help them out a lot. Harrison Smith looking great again, but they need Jefferson to be on target for this to attack those rookie corners that they have there. If they attack those rookie corners, I think Vikings are going to have a great game. I'm going to be honest here. I think Patriots are only going to score about 14 here, 14 to 17 in this range. If the game goes how it should go, Vikings should easily win this game. It should be no match for them.
JJ, what you think, man?
They should win this game. I just, they should win this game. They're the better team. They faced a similar type offense with similar type scheme, but a better offense in the Buffalo Bills and succeeded in the sense of their quarterback being able to run and like to make plays in his legs as well as his arm. They're a better team, and they should come out on top, ready to go, proving to everybody that last week against Dallas was a bad situation, but we're still a team that is 8-2, I believe. I believe it's 8-2. They should win this game, and I should win this game by at least 10 points.
Mr. Big Time, what are your thoughts, sir?
I don't know. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know. Cause see, when you get beat like Minnesota got beat by us, sometimes it's almost like a boxer. They stand up after getting knocked down, but they're staggering. You don't. Okay. I mean, we don't know if Minnesota's still shell shocked after getting destroyed by us. I'm just calling it like it is. You really don't know. And let's not act like, out of respect for who they're playing, you can't give a blueprint, even though you may not have the personnel like the Cowboys defense, but you got someone close. Let's give respect to Bill Belichick, who has known for years how to shut people down. So we're talking about the number 2 defense in the whole league right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are the number 2.
So let's not act
Is
like
this a primetime game. This is a primetime game.
I'm not even worried. I'm not worried about Jones and the offensive side. This defense is legitimate, and the Cowboys kind of gave somewhat of a blueprint of what to do. But I mean, and on the offensive side of the ball, personally speaking, I'm just saying, I don't know, because I don't know what Minnesota team gonna show up. I just don't know. Are they still shell shocked, or are they ready to go? And if they're ready to go, how are they gonna really get it done? Because I don't think you can run the ball too well against New England. I just don't think so. Kirk, we don't know which Kirk Cousins is gonna show up. I can't really say. All I'm gonna say is Minnesota's at home. The crowd will be lit up for them, and maybe that'll get them through. But New England is struggling offensively. That may be the big difference in the game, and Minnesota's defense is not. I know they just had a rough time against the Cowboys, but overall, their defense really is not that bad at all. So we just can't get fooled by one game. And I don't think the Patriots' offense is strong enough. If Minnesota scores 14 to 17 points, I'm not sure New England can score that many. I'm just saying they're deficient offensively. And it's just hard for me to believe that this offense of Minnesota has is gonna get shut down like that 2 weeks in a row. I just don't see that happen. But I can't predict it, cool. I'm gonna be honest, because I don't know what team gonna show up. Minnesota, I think they may still be shell shocked. I don't know. And I'm trying to be funny. I'm just saying. Sometimes when a team take a heart, I ain't saying they took their heart, but they took something from Minnesota Sunday, and they may not have recovered it in 2 or 3 days. I mean, come on now. They need another 10-day bye week just to recover from this. That's all. I just
this man is a trick.
Y'all say, hey, this is the big time right there, bro. This is the big time.
It's just the truth, man.
Chris, what you think, man?
It's the truth.
Let's be honest, man. Belichick specializes in being able to neutralize his opponent's best weapon. So it's going to be interesting how he's going to be able to take out both Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook out of this game. And it is a primetime game, it's a night game, so we all know how Kirk Cousins plays when it's a primetime game. It's gone back since college days. He's not a big-time player. But I will say, on paper, Minnesota has the team that should fairly control this game. So it's going to be an interesting matchup on how Belichick plays chess in this matchup.
Let me ask you this, Chris, because you just said something, and I think everybody probably would have a different opinion in this. Minnesota is loaded. Let's not act, just that one game. They are loaded. Chris, who do you? I guess everybody. I don't know if we want to extend this or not, but who do you take away? I mean, you got Jefferson on one end. Are you going to take him out? Thielen on the other end, which means you're going to be one-on-one. Thielen can still destroy people. T.J. Hockenson is a problem. And then, of course, you got Dalvin Cook and Madison. So it's really a two-headed monster. You can't take away both Jefferson and Cook, because if you take away Cook, you're leaving one-on-one. Excuse me, with Jefferson. So I'm saying, like, these are one of these teams that you literally do have to pick your poison. And
who do you think?
I that's what I'm saying. I don't know when you playing Minnesota. I think everybody's gonna say, well, you got to shut the run down. I get that. But if you're shutting the run down, are you really gonna leave your cornerback one-on-one with Justin Jefferson? I mean, come on now.
Adam Thielen, T.J. Hockenson, K.J. Osborne. There's a lot of weapons in this.
I mean,
that's what you have. Bill Belichick to take the other team's best weapon. Who is their best weapon?
They got the eye for the talent of receivers, but again, they got a 3-headed running backs too. You got Madison, Cook, and the fullback C.J. Ham, where they utilize. Kevin O'Connell has finally realized to start utilizing him. We didn't see much from the first 5 weeks. Didn't see really any of him against the Cowboys. But that Buffalo game, we saw a lot of him, and honestly, they utilized that. I mean, they've got so many weapons here that you can't just take one away. It's going to open up the whole game for them.
Yeah, I think the X factor is going to be on defense. You have Matt Judon, who's leading the league in sacks right now. So can he stay in Kirk Cousins' face? Can he stay? Can he stay in Kirk Cousins' face and harass him all night? That's going to be the key. If you can keep Cousins from making those throws, then you effectively neutralize everything.
The Cowboys last week, when it came to Minnesota, they picked their poison, and the poison was they were going to let they were going to let the receivers do the work, because they stacked up the box, and we still couldn't stop Dalvin Cook because we had Diggs going one-on-one with Jefferson, and we had one-on-one with Thielen, which means, of course, we had one-on-one with TJ. Now, we just couldn't do no wrong on Sunday, but most teams can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Everybody don't have a Diggs. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have that. So the question is, will New England use that same game plan? Because Belichick is known for one-on-one with his cornerbacks. But do you have the type of cornerback that can go one-on-one with Thielen and Justin Jefferson? I don't think so.
Yeah,
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I'll answer that question for you. No, they're not going to be. Okay, so they're not going to be able to do what you did because even if they attempt the same blueprint,
Yeah,
because like you said, they're not going to have the guys that can cover all those guys one on one. If you're going to stack the box and you're New England, then you're putting all your corners on an island,
yeah,
right? So I'm going to go four wide if you do that, and I'm going to make you spread out, and I'm going to make all four of those guys have to guard,
yeah,
right? So if that's what you want to do, I'm going to make you pay for that. Now, can Kirk Cousins do that in prime time? Maybe he's able to do enough. One of the things that the 49ers game showed us last night is if you have guys that are yak kings, guys that can get yards after the catch on a regular basis, all your throws can be 5 to 10 yards. That's what Jimmy Garoppolo does. He doesn't go deep down the field. He didn't even throw on the outside much. But he gets it to guys who can get the ball and then get yak.
yeah.
So if Kirk Cousins uses that same strategy, which obviously he hasn't used it very well on primetime games, but if he does use that same strategy, then I think he can be successful and do enough for Minnesota to win this game because, like you said, big time, if they can get 17 points, this is a winnable game, and I think they can put up 17 points.
Yeah, I don't think New England score. So you know what? After y'all talking like this, everybody talking, I'm changing my mind. Minnesota will win. Minnesota, New England can't score.
That's what it comes down to for me too.
New England can't score. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They didn't score. They just had a lucky punt return for a touchdown to win that game. They couldn't score. Matt Jones couldn't do nothing with the Jets defense. So I mean, yeah, they can't score enough. I'm going with the Vikings. I changed my mind.
If Minnesota loses this game, that primetime thing is
me and Mr. Big Time. We finally agree on something.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's fair. We'll move on to the next game. I think some of these are going to be pretty easy for you, where there are some really good matchups. There are some not so good matchups. So we have the 3-7 Broncos versus the 3-8 Panthers in Charlotte.
Oh, my.
Low scoring game. Both defenses are
Where do
very
you start
stout.
with that one? I mean, Panthers today announcing that Sam Darnold's going to start over Baker and PJ Walker. Like, peace out. At that point, what are you supposed to do? I mean, Sam Darnold, who has not been good, a former 3rd overall pick, Mr. I See Ghost on the field. At that point, I mean, the Broncos defense has to take advantage of that. You don't got McCaffrey. You trade McCaffrey, right? You have Devontae Freeman, who can be good on some games, but he's very off and on. So at this point, I'm going to have to side with the Broncos and hope they feed Duty and their second back. I can't remember who he is, but I think this could be an ugly game. I think this could be like a 9-3 victory for the Broncos.
DJ, you were saying? You there? Well, I guess not right now. All right, Big Time, what you got for us, man?
I think Carolina's going to win. They've been playing pretty good defense. They're playing at home. They're playing well. Carolina's ranked 19th and I think well at all, including Russ. They just let go of Melvin Gordon, so their running back, kind of, I ain't gonna say they're thin, but I think Carolina might pull this one off. They're not as bad as everybody think they are. Quarterback position may be, but other than that, I think that they're not too bad as everybody think they are.
What you got, Chris?
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. My connection's been crazy. If we're still on the Panthers and Broncos game, it's a low-scoring game in my opinion. Crazy enough, we played the Broncos down the line, and we just got finished playing with the Carolina Panthers. As inept as our offense looked against them, I see much of the same from the Denver Broncos. I expect this game to be like 9-12 or 10-7 because neither offense is good. Both defenses are their strong points. So I don't look for this to be but I look for this to be a good defensive game, but not a good game for any of the quarterbacks.
What you got, Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that same sentiment. I think the Panthers are gonna take this. It's gonna be low scoring. Chase Edmonds out for the year. They just released Melvin Gordon in Denver. I don't know if Latavius Murray can carry a run game that Denver's gonna need to be able to control the ball. So I'll take Carolina on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Denver, and I'm going to take Denver 21-9. I don't believe that Carolina's defense, with the amount of time that they're going to have to spend on the field, and they do every week, is going to hold up. I think Russell Wilson looks like the old Russell Wilson against a team that's going to trot out a quarterback that is not and should not be starting an NFL game at this point in his career. So I think that the ineptitude that we're going to see from the Carolina Panthers on offense is going to negate the defense being solid, because if your defense spends too much time on the field, we all know what happens. They start to break down. They start to allow plays to develop and things to happen. And that's definitely what's going to happen to Carolina. So I'm going to go 21-9 Denver Broncos.
But can Denver score 21 points? That's the question.
Against the Carolina Panthers, they can. One of those touchdowns will probably be a Sam Darnold interception that floats right into a defender's hand with a clear path to the end zone.
No BS. He might force it to DJ Moore. Pat Certain takes it all into the house.
That's just my thoughts. On that particular matchup, I just don't have a lot of trust in the Carolina Panthers. I actually live in Charlotte, so I hear a lot about them. I don't have a lot of trust in what their team is putting out on the field from week to week. And if they're not even going to put PJ Walker in, who's been their best quarterback this year, they're not trying to win games. So we'll move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cleveland Browns. And this game, of course, is in Cleveland. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? And we'll start with you on this one, JJ.
All right. AFC North versus NFC South. Tom Brady is Tom Brady, but if you can run the football on this team, you have a chance at really kind of beating them. And I think Cleveland is going to bounce back and have Nick Chubb, a heavy dose of him, get that run game going. And then if you look at Jacoby Brissett, he hasn't exactly played bad. He's not exactly a quarterback that if you come out there and be like, okay, if I stop Nick Chubb, he can't do anything. Jacoby Brissett has been able to make big plays and make those plays when he needs to. And I just don't think Tampa's all the way there. But I think with the defensive line that the Cleveland Browns have, along with Nick Chubb, that formula should present well for them, because it's much like the formula that we have. Even with as dynamic Lamar is, we are a run-first offense that likes to make those short passes to the chains or intermediate passes, but they are similarly built through Nick Chubb. So I think Cleveland wins this game in a close one, 24-21.
All right, Big Tom, what do you got? We can't hear you, bro. You might be on mute.
I'm rolling with Brady.
Okay.
They're hot right now. That last second win a couple weeks ago turned the whole season around. We done seen this too many times over the years. Once stuff like this started happening, this is usually when Brady cranks it up. They kind of smell blood in the water as far as their division goes. They're trying to make sure that they go ahead and get ahead and stay ahead. I just believe that Jacoby Brissett, as good as he's played, the record may not show it. He's played pretty decently. I just think he's gonna make a mistake at the end, and I think Brady's gonna pull it out. It's just his time, call it whatever you want. He just always finds a way to get it done. So I'm rolling with that. There may not be good stats or a good analysis and your analysis based off karma and the past, but I've seen this movie too many times, and Brady always end up with with the strong end of the stick. So I'm rolling with Brady on that.
All right, Chris, what you got?
This is Jacoby Brissett's last game to put some good tape out because Deshaun's coming back next week. So I feel like this is going to be a game where he's going to have to ball out, and it's at home in front of the home crowd and that Cleveland weather. I think Cleveland's going to take this one, and they're going to be able to control the clock, keep Brady on the sideline, and it's going to be a close one, but it's going to fall towards Cleveland on this one.
All right. Well, it looks like Alex may need to hop off and come back. So while he's doing that, I'll be quick. Basically, going to put it like this real quickly. The Buccaneers are going to win this game. The aggressive Cleveland Browns are going to try to hit Tom Brady. When you hit Tom Brady, you get a penalty. They're going to do that multiple times. They're just going to allow Tampa Bay to expeditiously get down the field in certain plays and make plays. So that's my personal thoughts on it. You cannot be aggressive. We've seen the last few weeks, we've seen you cannot hit Tom Brady. Pretty much at this point, you cannot hit him. So they're aggressive. I think they're going to make the mistake and get a couple of penalties. It's going to extend drives, and that's going to be enough for Tampa Bay with Tom Brady to do what they need to do, and that's to get a win. So it looks like we'll go ahead. Well, Alex is back. All right, Alex, your thoughts?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with Douglas here. I gotta go Bucks here. I mean, Cleveland's been good, but Nick Chubb got shut down last game again. If they shut down Chubb, I mean, Amari Cooper is good, but Brissett can't make those deep one-on-one throws right now. I just can't put my trust in that. And Brady is Brady. He's going to make those great throws. He's going to make those great reads. And having Leonard Fournette there, it makes it hard not to choose the Bucks in this situation. So I'm going to have to go with the Bucks squeaking out a small win here.
All right, and next we'll hit the Baltimore Ravens versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Jenkins, we'll let you start it off since you are a Ravens guy. We can't hear you, sir. You might be on mute. Okay. Well, while he's coming back, I'll just go ahead and throw mine out there. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this. Ravens. That's all I have to say. Ravens. What do you guys' thoughts?
Ravens as well. I mean, it's Lamar. He's dynamic as all heck. Trevor Lawrence has potential. Don't get me wrong. Give it another year or two down the road. Him, Etienne, Christian Kirk, they're clicking now. But it's going to be the Ravens. I mean, they got Mark Andrews, Devin Duvernay. That defense is starting to play lights out. I mean, it's just the Ravens. There's no doubt in my mind that if the Jags pull upset, congrats to them, but they shouldn't win.
Pretty much.
I got the Ravens as well. I'll go Ravens simply because I believe they just simply had to get healthy, and everybody's slowly but surely coming back. And once they get healthy, they're just better than most teams anyway. So I'm just going by and saying, as long as they're healthy, they should get by Jacksonville.
I'll say the Ravens too. I think the Jaguars are going to make it interesting, but it's definitely going to be the Ravens.
All right. Well, if Mr. Jenkins is able to hop back on, we'll let him discuss his Ravens. But if not, we'll just go ahead and keep it moving on here. So we got the Houston Texans at the Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna simply say real quick, Dolphins. And I've said what I need to say.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you, Dolphins. That's all I need to say.
Why are we even playing this game?
They're not a JUCO the Dolphins can play this week.
I got the Dolphins. It shouldn't even be close.
Agreed. Same for you, Chris?
Yeah.
I didn't think this one would take long at all. Next, we got the 3-8 Bears versus the 6-4 Jets. Chris, what you got?
I feel like those records should be flopped. I'm gonna go with
That's
Chicago
interesting.
on this one. I think Chicago has the better overall team. I don't trust Zach Wilson as far as I can throw him. Their defense is legit, but I don't think their offense is good enough to be able to score points that can continue to keep pace with Justin Fields and the offense over there.
Fair enough. So Joseph, man, you kind of missed out with the issues you were having technically, but we'll hop back and let you give us your thoughts on the Ravens. And FYI, if you missed it, we're all picking the Ravens, and we didn't have much to say because it's clear who should win this game and why.
Oh wow, I didn't. I didn't even realize that was up. But I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. We should win, but the way this team likes to throw the football, most teams we play, we kind of shut down the run, get them in bad situations to have to throw their way back into it. I don't like certain matchups that we have against this team, but I love the way that our rhythm is. We are supposed to get Gus Edwards back, which is going to be a big deal. So I will say I think the Ravens are going to win, and I'm 1-for-1. Well, 1-1 because I thought the Ravens were going to win by 3 touchdowns last week. I think we'll win by 2 scores. I think it's going to be 28-14. We're in the hot weather now. We're not playing in the cold of Baltimore, so I think that's going to loosen the guys up. And, our offense looks a lot better when Lamar is a lot more comfortable, and he's a lot more comfortable in hot degree weather as opposed to cold.
All right, and then now we're discussing the Bears-Jets game. If you want to throw in your thoughts on that one as well.
Oh, I actually think the Bears are going to win this game. As much as I like the Jets and I love their defense, I love Quentin Williams, I love Sauce, I love DJ Reed, I love how their aggressiveness, I love their tenacity. But I think the Bears have figured out what they need to do to give them the best chance to win. And I think in these situations, what I've learned from my own team, and of course you're probably experiencing as well from Jalen Hurts, the top ranked run defenses versus one of the best ranked run offenses oftentimes lose out to that team because you're not equipped to handle the run attack that these teams have. Like they run the ball almost like 30, 35 times a game. Most teams that they're playing against are going to run the ball maybe 20, 25, so to speak, and then you're getting hit from different angles. You're not going to just have to defend the backfield. You have to defend the scramble. And Justin Fields, ever since they've adapted this whole field, he's been playing a lot better. He's been much more comfortable. He's been much more sound with his decision making. I don't touch his props anymore because I used to take the lures, but now I don't touch it because he's actually being asked and able to make those throws. I think the Jets. I used to be a Wilson fan, but from what I read and I've seen that the game against a divisional team like the Patriots, it's not looking good. I think the Bears, they had a chance to win against Atlanta. I think the Bears are showing people that they may have a bad record, but we know who we are, and we're going to continue being who we are. And I think they can beat this. I think they can beat this Jets team.
Alex, your thoughts?
I mean, like we said, don't get the Bears wrong. Three wins. I mean, they just can't close out. It's the same thing as Detroit this year. They just have not been able to close out. But like Robert Saleh had announced today, Zach Wilson's starting job is up this week to grabs. So Joe Flacco, we could be seeing a return of Flacco mania. I know, Joseph, you may not like that just because he won you guys a ring, but I mean, Flacco mania could be returning today or this week. And honestly, if Flacco returns, I'm gonna go Jets. But if it's Zach Wilson, I'm going to go with the Bears because that read option offense right now is working. Keep going. Because Fields is looking like a running quarterback just like Lamar.
I got an interesting point to make. I saw something the other day on Bleacher Report that said Zach Wilson's stats are comparable to Jamarcus Russell's stats in 2007.
Yeah,
that's the first. That
20
was
starts.
game where
Zach Wilson has 13 touchdowns, 16 interceptions to Jamarcus Russell's 15 touchdowns to 20 interceptions in 20 starts. Just take that account. I mean, are we seeing Zach Wilson as a bust, just like Sam Darnold? Are they not able to draft quarterbacks? Only time will tell here at this point.
Big Tom, who you got?
Just so I don't follow the Bears. Let me just call it like it is. I don't follow the Bears. Is Justin Fields playing? That's what I need to know. He is playing.
Yes.
All right. Based off that, then I'm going with the better quarterback. if Zach Wilson, who I don't think deserves to play, but if he does play, I got the Bears. If Flacco is there, it's gonna get interesting, and that just be all depending on which Joe Flacco shows up. So I just think that Justin Fields, whoever plays quarterback for the Jets, he's the better quarterback. They have a tremendous running game. They can run. The tight end has showed up big in the last few weeks. For those that have played fantasy football with Komet, you'll notice that he's scoring a few points the last few weeks. He's found a pretty good guy there. Mooney has showed up big. So as long as Fields is playing, I think the Bears probably can pull this off.
Yeah, I'll say I'm picking the Bears either way, whether it's Zach Wilson or Flaccid Flacco. I'm going with the Bears. The Bears have the better talented quarterback, whichever one of those guys are playing. So it doesn't matter to me which one. I feel where y'all coming from, but in my opinion, either way, it's a wrap. We'll move on to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans.
Can I just say FYI, because we talked about it earlier, I'm in happy spirits for the rest of the night. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, that's great. So, yeah, now that we can get back to the football here, Bengals and Titans. Big Time, we'll start with you. What do you
Interesting.
Are they playing in Nashville?
They are playing in Nashville, yes, sir.
I got Tennessee Titans. They're catching a groove right now. Their defense is tremendously solid. Of course, the bell cow, who I don't think Cincinnati has enough to stop them. I think that Cincinnati is going to be in a little trouble this game here. I got Tennessee.
JJ, what you got? JJ, can you hear me? Okay. I don't know if you can hear us.
Look, when you're on the show, you're only limited to about 2 or 3 apologies. After that, you just about need to listen.
Alex, we'll go ahead and move on to you, man.
I'm going to have to agree in this prime time over there. Tennessee, man, the Packers, and a convincing win. Derrick Henry, I mean, hate to say it, against my own team, 3 touchdowns, passing and 2 rushing. Like, not much you can do to stop that man right now. He's finding his groove, over 1,000 yards already. At this point, it's Titans ball game. It's a home stadium. The crowd's going to be electric.
Chris, what you got?
I'm rolling with Tennessee. It's getting into the later half of the season. This is where Derrick Henry does his best work. I don't think Cincinnati stands a chance.
Joseph, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I think honestly, and I love to be on the show, but given the fact I keep having these issues, I think this will probably be my last one because I don't want to keep interrupting you guys and having you have to bring back one. I do apologize for that. But I will say, I think Tennessee wins this game because it's kind of like in reverse, For when Tennessee, when they first played last time, they beat Tennessee in their home field. Tennessee wants revenge, and I think Tennessee's going to be able to get it, even though Cincinnati's playing a lot. Their weapons are coming back. Jamar's coming back. They got Higgins, they got Boyd. Mixon is still out there. Tennessee's pass defense is not that great, and they typically struggle with teams that can go like 3 or 4 wide, or sometimes 5 wide, which Cincinnati has done. I think that but I do think Derrick Henry is just going to reign supreme because, as Chris alluded to, Derrick definitely gets it going in the second half of the season because a lot of teams are, if you're banged up, but if you're healthy, you're still kind of banged up because you've had 11 weeks in the season, and now you got this bruising of a running back on a team that's predicated around getting him the most out of him. It's going to be good for them. I think Tennessee's going to win, even though I do think overall, I would think Cincinnati would be the better team to go further if they met in the playoffs. I do think, but right now, I think Tennessee's going to win this game.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tennessee as well. I think that Cincinnati's line issues are still there. If I recall correctly, Jamar Chase is still not going to be playing. So I'm simply going to say,
I
man,
thought he was. Oh, he's not. Oh, okay.
this is going to be a win for Tennessee. All right, and we will move on to the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Commanders. And Chris, what you got for us?
First off, I want to give a big shout out and props to Cordell Patterson, all-time leader in kick return touchdowns, 9 throughout his career, and he's not done. Like, this man is, I've said it every week, he's a jack of all trades. This offense runs through him, and he's going to run through Washington. So Atlanta needs to win this game to keep pace with Tampa Bay. So it's a must win for them here on out throughout the rest of the season.
All right, big time, what you got?
This very well may be probably one of the better games of the week, to be honest with you, because both teams are really fighting. Both teams are somewhat hot, if you ask me. Washington is inspired, and if I'm not mistaken, I did see that Chase Young has been activated, but they're not. They come back and say that he's, we're not sure if he's gonna play or not. Now, they're just playing a little mind game. You're not gonna activate him off and then, not put him in. So he makes that big of a difference. I don't think he's gonna play a lot of snaps, but they're probably gonna be very picky with him. He's been off for a while. I think that he comes back and makes an impact. He's that type of player. But let me tell you something. Marcus Mariota is a problem. Now, I'm just going to say that. He's a big problem. And I'm going to be honest with you, Cool, again, forgive me for being raggedy here, but I really can't predict this one because all I will say is that Washington probably has the better running game with Gibson and Robinson. I'll say that. But Mariota and Patterson are dangerous, man. But the only bad part, I saw Kyle Pitts went on the injury reserve list. So that's a void. That's a weapon that's, most people say he's not throwing to him anyway. So
really not.
So,
you ain't taking advantage of him. So
right.
I don't know how much of a loss that really will be. But Atlanta is hot. Washington is playing pretty hot. But now that I think about it, I'm gonna go with Washington. I will go with Washington.
Alex?
I mean, that Marcus Mariota at the start of the season, I was not sold on him. I was really, really high on Desmond Ridder. I really wanted him to start. I even bought a Desmond Ridder jersey. So, I mean, there's that. But, I mean, Marcus Mariota's played great. Cordell Patterson, former Viking. Congrats to him again on the record. I really like him. Jack of all trades. Can even play defense. I remember last year they had him at safety. Come on now. Man's really good. But, again, Taylor Heinicke playing. Yeah, he really is Swiss Army knife. But Taylor Heinicke coming back when he was benched because of Carson Wentz. But
time and time again,
oh yeah, time again. Even back in when Carson Wentz was with the Eagles, he's injury prone and has just proven with every team he's been on. And it opened the door for Taylor Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke stepped in, has brought Washington, has brought them, I think, now 6-5. They were 1-4 before Carson Wentz got hurt. After Carson Wentz got hurt, they're now 6-5. I have to go Washington on this one. Think Atlanta could pull it off, but they just got to. They're just not building that offense built up and up. So I'm going to go Washington.
Joseph, who you got?
I despise the team that I'm about to pick right now. If anyone ever knows me, I'm cool. You're going to know me. I cannot stand the Commanders. Never liked them. Never cared about them. Never thought they were good. Trashed them so much to the point where my own family wants to disown me. But they're playing some good football. Atlanta's playing some good football too. I think the number one, Washington's coach knows in NFC South. He was in there for the last like 8 or 9 years before coming to Washington. And I think that's going to play into this thing. Even though that's a completely different team that he faced in those years, the NFC South, what to expect is kind of being the same. And I do think in today's game, with a game like this, if your front seven is on point, and particularly your pass rush can get there with 4 against a quarterback like Mariota, regardless of how well he's playing, I like your chances to be able to win that matchup. Because one thing I know about Mariota is he often does struggle under pressure. He doesn't have some of the best touchdown interception ratio or completion percentage under pressure. And I'm a big fan of Brian Robinson, and I think Terry McLaurin, I think AJ Terrell is playing. That Terry McLaurin, AJ Terrell, I actually like Terry McLaurin to be able to get off on this defense. And I got Washington winning in a close one. I got Washington winning like 27 to like 24. So I think both teams are going to be able to put up points, but I think I like Washington's chances better. Gosh, that hurt me to say.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with Washington as well. More weapons. I feel like all over the field. Both of them pretty solid at defense. Mariota is playing well, but I'm gonna go Washington. So we'll hop over to the Chargers and the Cardinals. If I'm being honest here, I'll go ahead and go first. If I'm being honest, the Chargers should win this game. The Cardinals may be playing their third quarterback. Kyler Murray may be back. Maybe Colt McCoy is going to play. We don't even know what's going to happen at quarterback. So without a lot of clarity, at this point in time, I'm going to have to go with the team that I know is going to have at least the majority of their starting offense, and that's the Chargers.
I got to go with the Chargers. That's all I got to say. I mean,
yeah,
Cardinals haven't looked great.
I got the Chargers as well. Nothing really need to be said about that. Just the Chargers. Yeah.
Agreed, Chris.
I'm gonna take the Chargers too, but I'm gonna put an asterisk again. It's getting into that December month, and Chargers always find ways to lose games in December. And
Chargers is on Charger.
Exactly.
So does Arizona.
Bro.
Joseph, who you got?
I take big man's approach. Chargers. I ain't got really much else to say after that. They're the better team. They look like the better team. Chargers.
All right, so we'll move on to the Raiders and the Seahawks. I'll hop on first again for this one. Raiders big win. Still a horrible season. Had to go to overtime to get the dub. Seahawks are playing well, playing confident, coming off a bye. Going Seahawks.
Seahawks, enough said. I mean, they've wasted Devontae's potential over there. Derek Carr is not the greatest quarterback I've seen. I'm going to say he's a top 20 quarterback. I'm just going to go Seahawks. Jones playing great.
Big time, what you got?
Seahawks.
I'm going to have to... The Raiders are kind of like Dr. Heckle and Mr. Diet too. My goodness, which Raiders team going to show up? Carr, Devontae, they showed up last week and they won. I'm gonna pull the upset. I'm gonna go with the Raiders, man. I think they might pull it off again.
Fair enough. I'm gonna sarcastically ask Chris, who does he have?
Honestly, I'm going with the Raiders here. I think it's going to be a game where they have to show that they're for real, show that they're legit. Derek Carr did a lot of talking a couple weeks ago about players not stepping up, and he's going to have to prove that he has to back those words up.
Okay. I feel you on that. Next, we have the hapless 3-7 Rams.
Hey.
Sorry, sir.
I didn't get.
My bad.
Get a chance to,
go ahead, sir. My bad.
That's all good. I got the Seahawks. I still am one of those people that don't necessarily believe in Geno, but I believe in him enough to win this game. And I think that, The Raiders, if if they don't get Josh Jacobs off, it makes life harder for their entire offense. But I think the Seahawks are going to get out early, and I think they're going to maintain their lead.
Fair enough. So we're gonna go with the Rams and the Chiefs. And Joseph, we'll go ahead and let you start this one too.
Appreciate it, man. Well, this looks like what in the when the season first started. This looked like the top tier matchup, a matchup of high flying. You had to see potential Super Bowl preview. I got the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are playing excellent football. Patrick Mahomes is their MVP front runner, and I think his gap is no shade to other people like to Jalen and Josh Allen, but I think his gap is expanding more and more. They are showing you they can beat you in all types of ways. And Travis Kelce, once again, keeps coming out doing what he's supposed to do. I think the Rams are in a serious flux right now. I don't think they are. I think they're in the part where they're going to decide whether they have are they going to be able to be a team that can make a push or whatever. Because I think Matthew Stafford is not playing or he's
short,
out.
Sir. Long story short, so the Rams suck.
Yeah.
The Rams are garbage.
There you go.
And whoever they play should win, and if they don't, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Especially the Chiefs.
And this is an indictment on the Rams. This has nothing to do with the Chiefs. There shouldn't be a team that loses to this Rams team without Cooper Kupp.
Chiefs by 40.
Take all over.
Chris, what you got?
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you, JJ. I think Kelsey's the MVP of this team. Kelsey makes Mahomes look that much better. I think he's gonna go off for 5 touchdowns, to be honest with you.
He probably will. What you got, Big Tom?
I know you're not about to pick the great.
No, I'm not. This is not a game that should even be televised. This is a flea market, scrimmage, varsity versus junior varsity type game. We don't even know if Stafford. We don't even know if Stafford is playing this week. So, the Chiefs are gonna roll big on these guys here. I think it's gonna be a real blowout. Almost 2-3 touchdowns. That's the way I'm looking at it. Shouldn't even be televised. But go ahead.
Starters should be resting after the first quarter.
So the next game we have is this is the last 4:00 game. The Saints at the 49ers. Who you guys got? We'll start with you, Big Tom.
Another game that shouldn't be televised. I mean, this is another game. The 49ers are really smoking right now. I guess you could go with the wild card and say, well, Jimmy G may show up and may blow up. So, but I just don't think this will be the game. I think it's going to be another blowout. They're too bullyish. They're too physical right now. The Saints are struggling. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think this game going to be close at all. I got the 49ers.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. 49ers.
Joseph, who you got?
This might be a game to bet on. I'm taking all unders for Alvin Kamara, Andy Dalton, because the 49ers like to run the football and the Saints can't stop the run. It's just that simple. And they're at home against a defense that is looking forward to facing Andy Dalton. I got the 49ers. I love their defense. I love the way they play. I love the way this team is built. And I think they're going to just roll through. I cannot wait to bet on this game.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers as well. But again, it's one of those games that sneak up on you. But the 49ers should handle this fairly easily.
49ers. 49ers. All right, so we'll move on to the Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep. There you go.
Joseph, who you got?
Y'all should roll. I got y'all.
Alex, who you got?
I'm gonna pull the upset here. I'm gonna go Green Bay just because I think if Roger is healthy, I think if we can get the run game going, I know you guys got Nagamatsu, he's a big difference, but Packers are finally getting healthy on that front five there. We get enough blocking. I think it's gonna be close, but I'm gonna go Packers by one here to try to knock you guys out of that one seed.
Big Tom, who you got?
I got the Eagles to pull it off. I mean, I really don't even think, to be honest with you, considering the back end of the Eagles, with their cornerbacks, I don't think that they'll get Rodgers get any type of rhythm during this game. If this was in Green Bay, I might say something slightly different, but they're not gonna be Philly there. So I got Philly. I ain't gonna elaborate no more on that, but go ahead.
Chris, who you got, man?
It's a Hurts and Brown show, so I'm gonna go with Philadelphia. Green Bay is gonna learn fairly quickly why the Raiders was willing to cut Jonathan Abrams. He's very susceptible in the secondary, pass coverage, and he's gonna get ate up.
Fair enough. I think everybody knows where I'm going. So I'm just going to move on here. So our final game of the week, a stinker, a Thursday night game. We're playing on Monday night. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers at 3-7, at the Indianapolis Colts at 4-6-1. If I could be honest with y'all for a moment, I'm going to go with a tie because I don't think either one of them is any better than the other.
Nah. I'm going Indianapolis because I need Pittsburgh to fall back.
I'm going to Indianapolis as well, but not because of what Cool said. The insertion of Jonathan Taylor, it makes a humongous difference. Jonathan Taylor makes a sorry team decent. Jonathan Taylor makes a decent team good. And it's not about Matt Ryan. It's really about their running game, and they can flat out run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. So there's a little bit more respect there, with Taylor in the game. So I'm going to Indianapolis. I don't think Pittsburgh can score enough. I guess you could say the same thing about Indianapolis as well, but Jonathan Taylor give them the best chance to really do something. He's gonna get his 100+ yards this week, and I think that's gonna be too much for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Indianapolis. I don't think there's anything more to be said about Jonathan Taylor in that running game. I think Pittsburgh is going to go ahead and they had to try to claw back and get to that number one pick because this ain't the year for them.
Yeah, it's definitely the Colts. I mean, Jeff Saturday looked great in his coaching debut. Lost a close one to the Eagles here. You move past that, Steelers just have not looked good, and there's no potential of George Pickens being suspended after that late hit. I mean, that is an ejection that is up for review by the league. So we still don't know if they're going to have George Pickens. If they don't have George Pickens, that's a huge loss for Pickett. So, I mean, I'm going to have to go JT and the Colts.
I was just joking about the tie. I'm going Colts as well. It's pretty tight, but definitely going Colts. I mean, yeah, that's nothing else that need to be said. I think you guys have so eloquently put everything that needs to be said. So, guys, we've hopped through all matchups, had our thoughts, our comments. Any final thoughts? And we'll start with you, Big Time, on the NFL Week 12.
We're getting real close to that time where the men are being separated from the boys now. It's this you can start to see the seedings kind of clearing up now. You can see how the divisions are being kind of set up. One thing is going on in the NFC though. I'll just throw this in. That's really strange. The Dallas Cowboys, since I'm talking about my team, I mean, I'm not trying to be a homer, but they very well could have overall maybe the second best record in the conference, but they'll probably end up being the fifth seed. That is going to be crazy because all the division winners
that's a good point.
are going to get a home playoff game. And the NFC South, for instance, I think Tampa's already lost, 5-6 games or whatever. Somebody's going to win their division and somebody's going to get a home playoff game. And the Cowboys may win 11 games this year, which just might be good enough to be second to the Eagles in the conference. I don't think Dallas is going to win the division. Philly's a little bit too ahead of them, unless Philly, lose games like they almost did this week. That's the only way we're gonna get it. But the Cowboys, and if you keep going, whoever else you want, Minnesota maybe. Minnesota, if they can catch stride, Minnesota will get the playoff win. But I'm saying the Cowboys could very well have the second best record in the conference and end up as a fifth seed this season. That's gonna be strange. You probably look at the AFC at the same thing. So it's really for to get real interesting these next few weeks. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely, Chris. What do you got, man?
I think that's not uncommon. There was that year that Seattle was 9 and won the West, and New Orleans had to travel up to there.
But let me stop there, Chris. The only thing I was saying about that was that based off of there's only one team getting a bye now. Back then it was two teams was getting it, but now it's only one. If we were going back in the old ways, the Cowboys would be the second seed, during that time, but only one team gets the bye now. And so because of that, that's why it's going to be super strange this year.
It's the season hasn't shaped out the way a lot of people expect it to be, but I think December it's going to be real interesting how these seeds fall for the rest of the season. And it's been fairly exciting. There's been much more variety this season than past seasons, and it's been fairly interesting.
Alex, any final thoughts?
I just think it's gonna be an interesting week. I mean, like we said, a lot of injuries, a lot of teams, a lot of players being activated. We'll see if they can be a big difference on those key plays that they get put in. It's gonna be a great week of football. I mean, we got some great games Thursday. Got a great game for Sunday night, and then got some good games in between the mix. So it should be just a great week.
And JJ, any final thoughts, sir?
This is the time for teams who have that identity need to follow it through and see what happens to them, because you should kind of already figured out everything you need to figure out for your team, and now you have to put whatever you feel is the best chance for you to move forward. You are starting to see teams in the AFC look and starting to figure themselves out and separate themselves from the pack. The NFC still has a lot of questions, but I will say there are teams in both divisions that have formulas that are breeding are fit for success down the line. The Eagles, the 49ers, the Ravens, the Cowboys, other teams that may come in the mix that might actually surprise people would be like the Falcons. But, I like this season. This is a very parity is real in this season. And I think what you are seeing right now might be the start of what could be happening for a long time, is that the AFC is going to be juggernaut. Like, the best teams are going to be at least 1 or 2 wins away from each other by the end of the season.
Just want to say the NFC East is the best division in football. All 4 teams are over 500. All 4 teams are whooping hind parts and taking names. So there's been years where colleagues, compatriots, I'm sure big time you've heard this as well, have had the audacity to refer to the best division in football as the NFC least. So I want you to take that from your lips, and I want you to acknowledge that the division that you need to be concerned about, I don't care if you're in the NFC, I don't care if you're in the AFC, I don't care if you're in the CFL, the ML, XFL, is the NFC East. Acknowledge the division, be scared when you play the teams, and know that there's a high probability that an L is coming your way. So again, the gentleman that came and joined me, I appreciate you. A little different. We did the roundtable thing tonight because, holiday, a lot of people traveling, had other commitments. So shout out to everyone who's normally on every week. Shout out to everybody who watched live. Shout out to everybody who hits the replay. The 4 gentlemen that are with me, they'll be hopping in the comments, hopefully, letting you know where to find them. If not, just watch next week. Everything will be back to normal. So for the NFL Matchup Madness, for the 4 gentlemen who joined me tonight and broke down all the games, we appreciate you, and we'll be back next week. And good luck, everybody. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.